Hey there, everyone. It's me, it's Justin. So, it's my YouTube channel. Let's try and see what we can do with this thing. So, let's do a kind of overview. What is it, the things that we'll talk about, and what is it that I do? So, we'll kind of try and keep this simple. I do construction, I do real estate, at least I have in the past. I'm developing some stuff now. And I like world events, I like economics, I like money. Let's do some stuff with all of that. So today I'm heading out onto a job where I've got to finish up some bricklaying. And then I've got a couple others to do, but other than that, let's talk about some stuff that's a little more relevant to right now. What's going on? Well, we've got the economy right now is being a little sketchy and a little off balance with, well, we have inflation. That's the big topic. That's what everyone talks about. Every single month it comes out. Higher than expected inflation numbers. We have GDP just got released today, where it was 2.6%. It was higher than expected. Everyone thought that we were going to end up having some really, really low, that we were going to, I think a lot of people on YouTube and other places, they were expecting, we were going to have another low GDP number, because there's a lot of, I think, bears right now who want low GDP just to confirm the not recession that we have with 2 negative quarters of GDP. And other than that, we have the big war in Ukraine. I mean, that's here. I just got this camera mount. This thing is being weird. I gotta get it set appropriately. We can't have it falling down. Anyway, I know some people might say it's a little dangerous to be recording a video while I'm driving. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do when you gotta do it. That's how you get things moving. Other than that, though, the big blame for a lot of this, negative stuff going on in the economy is Russia. Russia. They're the ones who printed all the money and caused all the supply chains to break down for the last 2 years when they invaded Ukraine earlier this year. I mean, it's obvious. The price of, oil and the gas at the pump is all Russia's fault. But we all know that's not true. What's going on is everything was disrupted, and there was a lot of money printed at the same time by the Federal Reserve and then put into the economy through fiscal policy, not just the regular, quantitative easing, but money being directly injected into the economy by hundreds of different, government packages. You had, obviously everyone is aware of the stimmy checks, but there was also the mortgage forbearance. There was the moratorium on student loans, which I believe is still going on to this day. And then you have, tons of other, like the PPP loans, the EDL loans, EDIL loans, or actually really they're called grants, meaning that you took out a loan and then it would be forgiven. So it's pretty much free money no matter how you spin it. I did apply for that, the EDIL, for my business, and then they told me at the last second you're only going to get $1,000 because you're, self-employed or you're a single, owner or whatever. Wasn't how the bill was written when it went through Congress, but hey, the banks, they don't want to give out a bunch of money, they have to forgive. So that's how it worked out. Is that too bright? It's not good. It might be a little better. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty inflationary, all that stuff. I don't know that it had anything to do with that, the Russia stuff. And if you have a lot of currency and then, supply chain effects, it's only going to cause everything to end up, for years being, higher prices, because inefficiencies and then all this excess, credit creation. But hey, I'm not, the biggest expert on all this stuff. I'm learning. So other than that, though, you gotta, and this is probably where I should focus, is you gotta take control and you gotta get prepared for harder economic times, right? It's pretty apparent in the economy right now and in the financial markets there's like the inversions in the yield curve in all the different measurements. Some people say it's the 10-year and the 2-year. Some people say it's the, smaller treasuries inverting on each other. The point is they're all inverted now. And there's that, the 2 negative quarters we just had. Look, we're going pretty hotly into a, conflict with Russia. I mean, we had the whole period in the 70s, or, the Cold War period, where we were, building up tensions. But this is unlike anything then. We now have, the 101st that's, deployed, and they're surrounding Ukraine right now. I mean, if you had, I'm not saying Russia's right or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, if Russia had troops that were stationed in Mexico, or let's say in Cuba, how would the U.S. react to that? I don't think they'd be very excited about it. And then, other than that, there's plenty of reasons to think that the economy is going to get worse and that our living standards are going to decrease. So I'm getting ready myself, getting rid of all my debt as possible. I've cut out, over 75% of my debt in the last 8 months. Sold off a lot of stuff that I had for other businesses, and am restructuring how I live my whole life. I've moved to a rural area for multiple reasons. Physical security, along with it's much cheaper where I'm living. And I'm going to try to be more in the commodity space and then the self-producing space. My plan is that I'm going to end up, not relying on currency, but relying on myself and relying on just making my own stuff. Because let's say if we go into an inflationary scenario where it's a hyperinflation country, right? You're going to want to be a producer so that, you'll catch some of those new higher prices. Because let's say if you grow vegetables or not, or whatever produce that you create, you'll be able to sell them. And in like Venezuela, they had people that actually got to erase a lot of their debts because their produce went up in value so fast that it allowed them to pay down everything that they had in loans. Or if you go into the deflationary scenario that we could end up going into, it's the same effect basically in the end. It's where essentially everything goes down in value. There is no cash, there is no currency that goes around at all, and you still have needs. And in this scenario, you don't have to have cash, you don't have to have currency to meet those needs, right? And then all of your little currency you do have that you are making, you can end up putting into things that you can't produce on your own. There's going to be things that, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can't really make my own gas for my vehicle or diesel. I can't, make my own internet. That'd be pretty cool. But those are things you may need to have cash for, and then if you're really not making any, you want to have your own things produced. So either way, I think this is the direction you need to go, being self-reliant, and you need to be as prepared as possible in, stockpiling stuff. Some people say it's a negative word, stockpiling. I don't think it's negative at all. I think it's prudent. And you have to redirect your life so that we have a different, culture in the United States. One in that people take more responsibility. Now that's like a very hard sell. How do you, convince people to be more self-reliant and to take more responsibility and to do harder work? I mean, the results at the end are better, but people want, easy stuff. They want to hear, I have something for you that actually you do less work and you get more stuff. Isn't that what we all want? I mean, maybe that can happen in the short term, but it's not going to work out in the long run. So anyway, we need more decentralized systems. We need to be less centralized here in the United States. And the people need to have more power on an individual basis to help other people, to be able to, direct the future of this country a lot on a lower level. Lower level, can see a lot of problems with stuff that people who are very high up can't see. Anyway, I think I'm getting a little too broad here overall, but I'm just trying to figure out, what it is I should narrow in on for this YouTube channel, what it is that actually has interest, and we'll go from there. But my name's Justin, and this is kind of the stuff that I'm into. We'll do some more videos, see how it goes, but for now, I think that's a good place to stop.